Alright, got live mullet and a dream. My last video I was using live shrimp, just trying to get numbers. Today I want to catch big fish. 2 fish lurking on the top over here. Gonna yeet this over there. See if one of them swims towards it. Oh, they're hanging out over to the left a little bit. See fish swimming about kind of where I threw that, but nothing's eating it yet. I'm just seeing some fish kind of cruising on the top. None of them look giant, but they look big enough to eat. I'm gonna scoot a little bit closer to try to cast into that shadow. See if maybe there's some bigger fish hanging out over there. That was a big tarpon. Not big, small tarpon. There's a bunch of tarpon going ham right there. Oh. There we go. That actually looks like a big fish. No! He dropped it. That actually seemed like a really nice fish. I don't know if he ever was hooked. Dang it. A similar area. So I don't know if he ever tasted hook or if I just pulled that right out of his mouth. Oh, something's eating again. Whatever it is doesn't know it's hooked yet. No, it spit it again. Whatever it is can't hold on to the freaking fish. I'm wondering if maybe these smaller tarpon are trying to eat it. They're able to hold on to the back of it, but they're not able to actually swallow the whole thing. He's kicking. Oh, he was eating my mullet. That tarpon was eating my mullet. So I think it was the tarpon, and they just haven't been big enough to fully swallow. They literally took my bait off when it landed. Okay, I'm gonna try hooking him in the tail maybe. Maybe they're eating it from the back. All right, so it is the tarpon. I'm gonna try hooking him through the back of the tail right here, just because they haven't been swallowing the hook on the front, so maybe if I have it back there. Because it's 100% these tarpon eating. Oh my. They're trying to slurp him. They can't get him. There we go. There we go. Finally got one. And so far he's staying pinned. It's a red. Not a bad one either. Not a bad one at all. This is not a bad red. Come here, buddy. That's a gorgeous redfish right there. First fish of the day. Didn't measure him, but that's a nice lengthy redfish. Had a nice thick head. Beautiful fish. Gonna get him right back in the water. Now, if you see me not fully putting my hand in the water, it's because I've been seeing a bunch of sharks in the area. So I'm gonna be careful putting my whole hand in the water. All right, he's ready to go. Keep my eye out, see if you're seeing if fish swimming at the top, but a lot of what I'm doing is just blind casting. So I feel like something that, I don't know if it's completely true or not, but when I hook a mullet through the mouth, he tends to swim towards me and more down. When I hook him through the back of the tail, Seems like more often than not, he tries to swim away from me and he stays at the top And I kind of like that because it creates some commotion. It might attract these fish. Oh, don't try to eat them. There we go. What do we got? Oh! He never actually had the hook, he just had the fish. All the mullet are dead, so before we call it, I'm gonna put this on here and work it like a fluke. I'm gonna put my dead mullet on here. We're just gonna kinda work them a little bit like a fluke. Something ate it off the hook. All right, I have run out of mullet, but there's a ton literally right around me. So we're gonna cast net some more. Caught one redfish, had a bunch of fish eat and just didn't really stick. I think it was a bunch of those smaller tarpon and they just weren't able to fully swallow the mullet that were too big. So if we get some smaller ones, maybe go throw at them again. But if not, I might just try some new areas and see if we can find some bigger snook and bigger redfish. Alright, we've moved locations. I have about 8 or 9 mullet in a live well. I'm in an area that I actually haven't fished before, so this is new territory for me. The water is still pretty dang clear, which is exciting, which means I can do some sight fishing with these live mullet. I really want to whack a big snook. There's a good chance we catch some big redfish too, but big snook is what I really want to catch. Alright, I'm pulling up to a little point. I'm going to toss on the point before I can even see anything. Something to look for in this summer heat is just points like this where the wind is blowing through them, because it kind of just keeps that water moving, which cools it down a little bit. Plus, like these shadowed areas, these are really good areas to hold fish. We got wind coming through a point, we got shadows. These are great spots to find some fish in this summer heat. Not when you cast through a tree though. Honestly, just hoping a fish eats that and pulls me off the branch. Alright, the water's like clear enough where I can honestly sight fish at this point. I'm gonna blind cast into some of like those shadow spots, but other than that, I'm completely sight fishing. This water is really clear. This BG 4000 is a little bit overkill for some of the fish that we've caught today and that we might catch, but because I'm gonna be fishing around docks and mangroves and structure, I wanna have something strong enough if I do hook one of those big fish to be able to like force them out and hold them off of that structure so they can't break me off. Because the last thing I wanna do is fish too light of tackle, then leave hooks in a fish's mouth or leave line in the water. I'd rather be a little bit overkill. Make sure that I catch these fish, I'm able to give them good releases, and I don't leave hooks in their mouths. Looking at it, he just munched it. He just swallowed it. Oh, it came off. Shark right here. That redfish munched it. Both those redfish that I've seen have wanted the mullet, so I'm feeling pretty good about this area, and it seems like the fish are eating. Seems like they're hungry. And we're seeing some fish. That's about 6 or 7 redfish I've seen already. 2 I've gotten a decent cast on, and they tried to eat. I've actually seen 3 sharks, which is a little bit concerning, especially when I release these fish. And then also these redfish I've seen come out of these dark shadows, which means there's probably more in the shadows that I can't actually see. So I'm gonna blind cast a little bit, but be on alert just to make sure I don't throw a cast and then see a redfish right after that. There's a red right there. I kind of have to throw this on his head though. He was kind of swimming into the mangrove, so I didn't have a choice but to just kind of throw that at him. He wasn't massive, so he might not have even wanted to eat this, but you'd be surprised how big of mullet these fish will eat. There's 2 reds right here, but they're too small. All right, we have made another move. We still have a decent amount of mullet left. Really nice redfish. Really nice. And turned away. I'm gonna have to give a cast on this one's head. That one's off of it. This one still could eat. I think this one's thinking about it. Yep, he ate it. Oh, spit out. He couldn't fully eat it. Let's see if he'll eat it again. So right now you're seeing one of the issues with throwing live mullet, especially this size, is it kind of limits you from catching those smaller fish. I've seen a ton of redfish anywhere from this big to like this big, and the ones about this big, they can swallow that fish and get hooked, but a lot of them have just not fully got that fish deep enough in their mouth where I'm able to get that hook. I do think I could possibly start just hooking them in the back of the tail, and that's the best option. I typically like hooking them through the roof of the mouth, but with these smaller fish, I think that the tail is a better option, because it seems like, just from watching that, they always seem to eat it from behind. So that kind of seems like that would be the best option for that. But I've had a lot of eats today. I've had a lot of fish be interested in this mullet. I've only connected with one, which is unfortunate. Still have a couple mullet left, so still gonna fish a little bit longer. But man, missed a lot. So I am gonna hook them through the back of the tail. I just think that when I hook them through the mouth, it seems like they live a lot longer. It's easier to reel them in. You're not reeling like against them backwards. I feel like they live a lot longer when I hook them the other way. But we're gonna try this and see if this can hold some of those fish to help them stay on. See two, I think, jack swimming right here maybe. Oh, there's a jack chasing some bait right here. He just slurped it. There we go. I think it's a jack crevalle. Oh, he spit it. I think it was a trout, actually. It's either a jack or a trout, but kind of at the end there, it kind of looked like a trout. He's right here swimming. That's another fish that didn't fully swallow the fish. Now, I could sit before I try to set the hook a little bit longer, but I don't want to leave a hook in a fish's mouth. And I'm worried that if I wait too long, they'll just end up choking it. And that's the last thing I want. I've just been sitting here, waiting for something to eat it and something that was just trying. Let him get it. All right, he should be hooked. Let's see what we got. Let me get off my tower here. He's coming right at the boat. It's a nice trout, really nice trout. Oh yeah, this is a really nice trout. He kind of choked it. I don't want him to. Yep, worried about that. He spit it out. Dang it! I really wanted to show him off. That sucks. That was a really nice trout. The reason I was trying to get him in quick was because it looked like he swallowed the hook, and I didn't want his teeth to cut this line and leave a hook in his mouth. So I tried to get him out in the boat as quick as possible, but somehow, even though he choked it, I even set the hook like 3 or 4 times. He just literally spit it. So I wish I could have shown that fish off, but we got a leader touch, technically a catch. I don't really care, but I just wish I could have shown him. But that was a really nice trout. That was one of the better, that could have been my PB trout. I haven't caught many like big trout. Got crushed by a redfish. Can't tell how big he is. I've lost too many fish today. I do not want to lose this one. Come here. I actually sight casted this one. I was kind of just chilling. He's decent. He's a decent red. Got him. Let's go. He is hooked inside the mouth. It wasn't hooked very well. Gorgeous redfish, and he actually has some line stuck in his mouth. So I'm gonna put this down real quick, and I'm gonna try to get that. It looks like somebody had already caught him, left line and a hook in his mouth. So I'm actually gonna get that out for him. Let's get him back in the water. All right, this poor guy had a hook stuck in his mouth, so I'm gonna give him a really strong, long release. Oh. Can't tell if that was a shark or not. All right, shark swam away. Shark was too big. And that redfish swam off healthily. Yeah, that shark was actually smaller than that redfish. He was really small. All right, that's gonna do it for this video. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Your boy's dealing with food poisoning right now, but I have another video almost done editing right now as we speak. That should be ready a couple days after this one gets uploaded. Hope you guys enjoyed, maybe learned a little something. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace.